Hi everyone. So I am here today to talk about a really fun subject that I feel like we don't hear a whole lot about. So I'm really excited to delve into this a little bit with you guys today. And that is the subject of birth. And you know, it's weird. Not a lot of us think about our birth and how it impacts us. Hi, Jen. But it's a really, really huge thing because if you think about it, the circumstances around our birth are our first experiences of the world. So this is where we make a lot of decisions about what the world is like based on the circumstances around when we were actually born and the circumstances leading up to our birth. So when we were in the womb, what was going on? What was the relationship with our parents like? What was going on around them? Taking all of these things into consideration because we make decisions about the world based on these circumstances. So let's say that while your mom was pregnant with you, she was arguing with your father a lot, or there was a lot of other kids in the house and she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to take care of another one, right? All of these thoughts that she was having and circumstances that were going on around her, they all impact your thoughts about what the world is like and your decisions about what kind of relationships you're going to have, what relationships are like, and then the circumstances actually during your birth also have a huge impact on the decisions that you make about the world. Because again, these are your first experiences of the world. So you make a lot of decisions based about what the world is like based on these experiences. So say your birth was very traumatic for some reason. A lot of people experience where they have a cord around the neck. So a lot of times when they're in certain situations, they could feel like they're being choked or they can't breathe when they're starting new things, right? Because the birth energy is like the energy of starting new things. So whatever energy the energy was around your birth, that's the energy you're going to bring in when you're starting new things, like starting a new job, starting a new relationship, starting a new project, right? These are all things that ways of thinking and ways of being that you're going to bring in to these new things because this is the energy around your birth. Okay, so this is really, really huge and it can be kind of overwhelming to unravel because sometimes you don't really know a lot of the circumstances around your birth, and B, you're not really sure how they affect you, right? So hi Jenny. So today I just want to go over, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the circumstances around my birth and how they impact me and how breath work can really help to uncover the circumstances around your birth and why sometimes during a breathwork session, people will actually have memories of their birth or memories of being in the womb. I've had that happen to me where I've had memories of being in the womb and memories of what that was like. And a lot of times that comes up during a breathwork session because when you were born, that was the first time you took a breath. So when we're breathing, all of these memories are coming up, and sometimes those memories come up of the first time that you took a breath. So these situations and these circumstances are super, super important because they really impact the way that you look at the world on a really, really deep level. Because when you made these decisions, this was pre-verbal, right? So you're a baby, you're in the womb. Obviously, you don't know how to talk. You're not thinking in thoughts where they're words, right? So it's all just a feeling that you have about the world. So maybe if you came into a situation where parents were arguing all the time, or there was an unstable kind of home life situation, like say your mother was on her own, she didn't have a partner, all of this stuff impacts the way you see the world. So maybe say when you were born, your father left, when you were a young child, then you might develop this subconscious belief that all men leave, or your men won't really ever be there for you. But these are really hard to uncover because they're all these subconscious pre-verbal beliefs that we're not aware of. So that's why in a breathwork session, when you start to breathe, these things will start to come up. These subconscious beliefs will start to come into your awareness so that you can see them and you can make a new decision. So this story is just so important to uncover because it gives you so much insight into how you look at the world, right? Into how you look at relationships specifically, and even career. Those are like the two big ones, right? That we're always trying to better is our relationships and our career. And a lot of that is really interconnected. And it all kind of starts with the circumstances when you were in the womb and the circumstances that you were born into, because you really make a lot of decisions based on that. Sorry, I'm trying to see. I know there's a couple questions. So Jenny said, I don't know if mine was traumatic or not, but I know my mom was a very anxious person. I'm glad you brought this up because that is really, really important to know. Like my mom is a really anxious person too. So I know that I took on a lot of that anxiety because when you're in the womb, you feel everything that your mother is feeling. The child really takes on the psyche of the mother. And I know that sounds like a little bit scary because you're like, oh my God, what am I, like if you're a mom, you're like, oh my God, what have I passed on to my child? And it's not bad. It's just that all the thoughts and feelings that you're having, they end up impacting the baby. So that's really, really important to take into consideration when you're uncovering your own birth story, because looking at the way that your mom is, like Jenny, you said, I know my mom was very anxious. So looking at how that impacts you, where you're anxious in your life, and this could be like a really like underlying subconscious thing that you have anxiety about certain things, and it could show up in your relationships or in your career. So, and it's different for everyone. So you kind of have to like unravel and unlock your own story around this. But it can really give you so many good insights as to why you do the things that you do. So just to give you a little bit about my birth story and how that's impacted me. So when I was born, oh good, Jenny. Yeah, that makes total sense. She said, yes, definitely. And if anyone has any questions about this, you can totally ask them right now. So anyway, during the circumstances around my birth, which this has come up for me in a bunch of different breathwork sessions, just unraveling what these circumstances were and how they impacted me. So, when I was born, my parents were both teachers, and they were actually on this like really big teacher strike when I was born. And they hadn't worked for like 3 months, and they didn't have any money, and they weren't really sure where they were getting money or when they were going to work again. So there was a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty, and those were kind of like the circumstances that I was born into. And I know that these impact me in a really big way, just around the thoughts that I had around money and lack and all of these things, that I had to go back in my breathwork sessions and all the other personal growth work that I do and kind of reprogram these thoughts that I picked up that were the circumstances around when I came into the world. Because like I said, we make these decisions about the world based on these circumstances that we're born into. And if you think about it, it really makes a lot of sense, because this is our first experience of the world. This is, we're coming in and we're like, oh, this is what the world is. And when you're a baby, you kind of soak everything up like a sponge and you don't really question it. So we create a lot of these beliefs and we're not really even aware of them because, like I said, they're pre-verbal, they're subconscious, but these beliefs are kind of the things that are driving us, and we end up making decisions about life based on these beliefs instead of beliefs that are more in alignment with who we really are on a deep level. So that's why unraveling this stuff is so important, because you can kind of get to a place where you understand, wait, this is stuff that I picked up in childhood. This isn't exactly what I truly believed, and I no longer want these decisions to drive the train, to drive what I'm doing. So you can become conscious of them and then make new decisions. So that is the gist of everything around birth, although there's so much more to it. You can really go deep into this as far as things that you picked up when you were in the womb, or things that happened during your actual birth. Like, there's all different ways of looking at the different types of births. Like, if you were drugged at birth, sometimes you'll go into new things unconsciously, or numbing out because that's how you came into the world. Also, I mentioned the cord around the neck. There's also the C-section, which those are the type of people that tend to either like not finish things or jump right to the end. Like, they don't know how to see things through. That's a really, really common thing with people who are C-section babies. So yeah, there's so much to this. And this is a really, really deep and fun topic to delve into, which brings me to my next really exciting announcement. So I am getting ready to launch my online course, which I don't even want to call it a course because it's more than that. It's a transformation. So it's called The Metamorphosis, and it's 8 weeks to uncover your soul's divine calling and manifest rockstar status in career and relationships with ease. So I'm just getting used to saying that, but this is what my course is. It's an 8-week online course that basically, it's like my life's work. I took everything that I have learned over a 20-year period of breath work, healing, transformation, personal growth, and I put it into 8 experiential weeks to kind of streamline all of the stuff that I found that works to help you grow and change and create a complete metamorphosis. So that is going to be launching on May 15th, and it also includes support and guidance from me along the way. And not only do we talk about birth, but we go into family dynamics, your relationships with your family members and how those have impacted you. And then we move into completing with all of that conditioning, and then moving right into uncovering your soul's divine calling and how you can bring that into the world. So it's really, really exciting. I'm super happy that it's finally almost here, and that is going to be launching May 15th, but I'm also signing people up early, and there are some incentives for signing up for it early, which I'd love to talk to you more about. So you can sign up for a free call with me so we can talk more about it. But this is life-changing, this course. So I'm going to be posting a lot more about it, and you'll see a lot more about it. But yeah, this work is really just life-changing. I mean, I just got out of a session with a client, and I'm just like, I was on such a high because she's just growing and changing so quickly, and it just makes me so excited. It's so amazing what can happen with breath work and with the intention of really growing and healing. It's so amazing what can happen in such a short amount of time, and getting to watch people go through these transformations is really, really an amazing thing. But yeah, so the main thing I'm really talking about is birth. And if you want to uncover more of that, if you're more interested in that, definitely reach out to me, because this is something. And if you're somebody too who has had like a really traumatic birth, or you know stuff that went on around your birth that you know is impacting you, then this is something that you definitely want to look into, because it could really give you some key insights as to why you do the things that you do. And like, not a lot of people talk about this, right? I mean, there are people that talk about it, but it's not something that comes up. Yeah, we always talk about your childhood and all of the stuff that happened that impacts you, but looking at your birth specifically, I think, is a really unique and powerful way to uncover those pre-verbal subconscious beliefs that are essentially just like driving the train, and take back control and create the things that you really want in your life. So the birth is actually the first week of my course. And then it goes through, like I said, all of the other topics that I mentioned. But it is really just me taking everything that I learned over the years that has helped me heal from anxiety, from an eating disorder, from not knowing what I wanted to do, to now building a business, being a breath worker and a healer, and just all the tools that I have used to change and transform and create the life I want. I basically have put into this course for you and streamlined it to make it super accessible, super easy, and fun. You definitely have to put the work in, though. I'm not going to say that you don't have to do that, because healing yourself is definitely an investment. It's an investment of time, energy, and money, but there's no better investment than investing in yourself. Because what you're going to get back from it is better than any other investment that you can make. So I always tell people that the best thing you can invest in is investing in yourself. And I've seen that with myself, because I have invested a lot of time and energy into myself, and now I'm creating this course to show you how to do the same thing. So I'm going to put a link below that you can schedule a call with me to talk more about this. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. I love talking about this, and I love watching people grow and change and heal. So if you are just hopping on now, definitely watch the replay, and let me know that you're doing so. And please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. All right. I will see everyone later. Bye.